Good afternoon, my beautiful followers. How is everyone doing this week? Let me know in the comments below. I love hearing how you guys are doing as we roll through September, my favorite month because it is my B-Day month. Yep, next week. But I absolutely love September. It's just one of those amazing months where like the season's kind of changing. The energy always shifts. So it is definitely one of my favorite months. So let me know how you are dealing with all these energy shifts going on. But that is not my topic for today. That is not my topic. So I am a little tired today. Why am I tired? Because last night I headed out, and I'm usually like a get to bed early kind of gal. Like I definitely don't stay out really late, but I stayed out really late last night. And why did I stay out? Because I have a newer friend, and we went and we had a really fun just adventure. We had some good conversation and we had some adventure. And I started to think about how there are certain things that really connect us in relationships. Now, there are things that connect us like our wounds and other pieces, but one of the big things that really creates connective relationships of all kinds, and that's your intimate relationships, your friendships, your even relationships with your colleagues or your children. Colleagues, it's a little harder, but one of the biggest things is actually play and adventure. And you might go, yeah, Addison. But the fact is, it really is quite important in any relationship to have that play, to have that adventure. And outside of colleagues, it is important to kind of keep things kind of new and spicy in terms of adventure. And you use the term adventure in relationship, and a lot of people think you have to go on a trip or you have to do this wild and crazy stuff in romantic relationship. Like, okay, well, let's go, like have a gangbang or let's go do all that. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about going and having new experiences or creating new experiences with those you love. And really stepping into a level of play and laughter and silliness. And why is that so important? Well, because we connect when we're in a positive vibration of laughter and play. And guess what? Play is so incredibly vulnerable. It is so vulnerable. And when we get into that vulnerable space, especially in those higher vibration, what happens is we get connection. We get connection. We get to see the brilliance and light in other people that we are either wanting to build relationship with or we're already in relationship with. I tend to be, a lot of people are like, you're so silly, Addison, you're so playful. But I do tend to be very serious at times. I have actually had to really work at the playfulness. I really had to do my inner work to open up this level of play in me. And that's because it can be very serious. And so when a relationship starts to get kind of rocky, it's so important to bring in that play. Because you get to see the spirit of the other human. Now, if the relationship is all play and no seriousness, that doesn't always work either, because then oftentimes you're not really sharing your heart. But if you have to have that play, you have to also have adventure. So go to a new restaurant with a friend or take your child to a new activity. Even if you are like this, I'm going to suck at this, like going and trying it. And even if it's something you've done and somebody else hasn't, that can be fun. It can be so beautiful. Like yesterday, what me and this person went to go do, the fact is I had done it before, but I was like, well, this is fun, just like watching her experience as we go in and do this fun new activity. It was so beautiful and so connective, and it was fun for me. It filled me up with the laughter and the connection. And I see people also not doing this with their children. And I know I'm a sex and relationship coach, and everyone wants me to talk about intimacy with a partner, with a distinct partner, but our children are just as important to build a level of intimacy with. And how beautiful is it when we can go and just laugh with our kids? We tend to get very serious with children, and we get in our daily grind, and we forget to take those times to just go play and go have a new adventure and laugh and keep it lighthearted. The same thing is true of your friendships. If you're always heavy, 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 then guess what? There's no play, there's no breath. With your colleagues even, okay? With your colleagues, if you're like work, and there's no laughter, there's no adventure as far as like, well, let's go to happy hour, or, on lunch, let's go do this new restaurant, or, that kind of thing, then guess what? It becomes work. And that's where resentment and just like the drudgery, and that's when we start to see people's darkness more. Not that anyone's darkness or that opposing side of the light isn't important to see in relationships. However, if that's all we're getting to see, then we're not really seeing the whole human. Play, I love Brené Brown's work, and if anybody doesn't know anything about Brené Brown, you really should do a YouTube search. She's a researcher on shame, but a part of her research is really on play, and play is so incredibly vulnerable. And so when we have really seen that level of vulnerability in another, we really do lose some of our negativity for them. We lose some of our judgments. It's actually why I have a methodology I use where I bring in a lot of play into some of my sessions, or very specific sessions, and the client knows beforehand, or the workshop is very known beforehand, but they're amazing because they're playful, but yet they're vulnerable, because play is vulnerability. Play exposes us to be silly and joke and do something new. That's so beautiful, but it's so vulnerable. So if you want to build more connective relationships, then yes, have more conversations, have that connection time, have that presence. There's so many pieces, but do not forget the play and the adventure. Do not forget the play and the adventure in a relationship of any kind. So, on that note, I am going to let you guys go. If you want to work with me, you can head over to addisonbell.net/contact, or just go to my site and you can check it out. You can check out all the amazingness. But we are headed towards the later part of this year, and I know so many people have made all these beautiful goals and the year has gone away from them. So step in so that your 2022 is different. And now is the time to do that. Now is the time to start taking those steps. So I hope to see you guys soon, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Bye guys. Love you.